better. Well, who's your team? Who your NFL team is?
Boston Celtics, NBA, Green Bay Packers, NFL.
So you have a quarterback who had one who technically is a fraud. So we ain't gonna talk about that, right? Your quarterback's a fraud, all right? Can't win big games in playoffs.
When's the last time your quarterback won? Oh wait, he's not even playing no more. When he was playing, when's the last time he won?
Well, let's say your quarterback. You can't say that when your quarterback only won one as well.
He won 2010, right? When did Hurricane Katrina hit?
2009.
07? 2009.
It's
so he won the year before that. So from 2009 all the way to what he retired in 2019.
Drew Brees retired last year.
2020? 2021?
2020 was his last season.
So from 2009 to 2021, he couldn't win again.
He got close, and like he wasn't close.
Not to mention, I can say this.
He got close twice, and literally only one game. Literally one game where I say Drew Brees. It was GB's fault we didn't win that game, and that was when we played against the Rams, and he threw that pick in overtime. That's the only game I'll say it was him. Even then, you could argue. The fact that the defense.
Did you lose?
Did you lose? But football's a team sport. You can't put it all on the quarterback, right? If we're gonna be real, Did
you lose? If
yes.
That's the case, then you can't say Tom Brady is the GOAT. You have to say every single team that he won with is the GOAT.
I mean, they got the same number of rings as him, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I can't argue that. I can't argue that.
If that's the case,
I can't argue that.
Say,
he called Bill Belichick a GOAT.
7 rings. Because
he did.
That's the case,
he did win 7 rings though.
He did. But what I'm saying is, you can't sit here and make it an individual award when we talk about Tom Brady. Oh, he won 7 rings. No, he won 7 rings with 7 different teams, which means it's not like he established a dynasty. Because, like you just said,
I can't really say it's a different team. I can't even say because he won 6-0 with the Patriots, with the same head coach, with almost the same damn receiving core. Aside like 2-3 of those Super Bowls he won over there that they weren't the same receiving core, right? Like only didn't change really much was defense.
What did you just say? Not the same receiving core, right?
Yeah, out 2 or 3 of those years, yeah. But then again, right? Outside all those changes, right? He still was able to play at a high caliber and bring his team, or his defense bringing him to a Super Bowl chance, right? He also put his team in winning chances. You can't argue that.
But now you contradicting yourself because now you sit here saying it's a team sport.
It is a team sport.
How the individual did this for the team, this and that. So
he did, he did do those things. He did do those things. Ain't discrediting the team, but he did do those things.
But by your logic, you can't sit here and say, "Oh, I'm the GOAT because I won 7 rings." When in actuality, all 7 of those rings were by different teams.
But he got 7 rings. Like how? I don't get what you're trying to say.
If I got 7 Funyun rings,
I
got 7 rings. I'm established. I got multi-millions. That's all it takes.
But we ain't talking about Funyun rings though. We're talking about Super Bowl rings. Why are you talking about Funyuns?
Because it's the same thing.
No, it's not. No, we're not. It's not the same caliber.
I'm using an example. I'm using the example that you gave.
If I have 7 rings, right? 7 rings. Because not everybody on that team has 7 rings. Because not everyone stay on the team, right? Correct? Right? Like Gronkowski don't have 7 rings, right? Like Julian Edelman don't have 7 rings, right?
I'm listening.
when it comes to talk about somebody's legacy, right? The man did it with multiple different teams, right? Now, what we're not saying is we're not discrediting the teams he played on, saying like, oh, he did it himself, right? But we can't just ignore the fact that this man was able to do it on different teams and get it there, right? Because we seen it. We, as far as the game of football, this is the only player that we seen that was able to do that. The only player we seen that was able to do that. Because Troy Aikman didn't do it. Troy Aikman didn't do it.
Y'all not expanding. Y'all not expanding. That's your problem.
Y'all
not expanding. That's your problem. Y'all want to go to Bourbon Street and get drunk and shit all night.
That's not the case. Why y'all think that's the case? Why think why? So the Saints' problem, right? The 3 chances, right, in the past couple years that we had a chance to make it to the Super Bowl, right? All right, one was honestly, I say this every time. I say the game should have gotten that close in the first place. Defense gave up a touchdown, and I think Drew threw a pick that kept the game close, right? All right, the Minnesota Miracle, right? That play shouldn't have happened, all right? That's just simply a defense playing lazy, right? We had the game won. We had that game won. The game was won. All we had to do was play the last play. If you go back and watch film and watch the last play, you see at minimum 5 players take off on that play. If you play the game of football, you know that you can't take off on plays. You can't. It's literally not possible, right? That's how touchdown happens. That's how miscoverage happens. There's so many things that could happen because players taking off on plays. That's all the Minnesota Miracle was. It really just, we have 5-6 players taking off on a play because they think the game was already won. And boom, the impossible happened, and motherfuckers trying to make a play last second to stop them. That's all that shit was, right? All right, the freaking Ram bullshit when the motherfucker hit him and then call a pass interference call, right? That play, right? That's out of our control. But then again, right? That play, it shouldn't have to lead up to that play. We had 2 drives prior to that we should have scored touchdowns on that ended up turning around, and we got nothing out of it. When you doing things like that, like Tom Brady don't have those moments, right? Tom Brady didn't have those moments where you can look back in his career. We're like, man, bro, they should have won these games. Tom Brady should have won this game. Any game you think Tom Brady should have won, he won.
I don't know about that one.
All right, any game. All right. Now you feel like, well, as far as like close game that like, all right, if you get Tom Brady a chance, I was give about 8% chance he make those chances. I'd say 8% of the time he makes those chances.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Cause he's that consistent, right? I love Drew.
Okay.
I love Drew Brees to the death of me, but Drew Brees don't not know how to. He not consistent in closing out games
at all.
All right, you know.
That's the reason why you only won Super Bowl 1 time.
I mean that, and for after that Super Bowl year, our defense was the shit. I mean, you only could do so much when you put up 42 points.
The whole time.
No, it wasn't. We had like a number. The year we won the Super Bowl, we had a top 10 defense.
Well, it was your offense.
Top 10 as well. We had top 10 on both sides of football. And then after that, our defense was in the back half of the league. Every year until like 2018, 2019, we had the worst defense till like then. Till it was like Marshawn Lynch, Cam Jordan came in, and I think right when we got the middle linebacker, I forget his name, last name Davis. When we got him, I think that when like the defense started to shift, and we got that new DC. That when the defense started to shift. But prior to that, we had the fucking old Cowboys DC, trash ass, who fucking hate this guy with the Bounty Gate bullshit. defense the back half, right? But we had like number 1, number 2 offense. Bro, ain't no way your offense averaging almost 32 to 35 points a game. That you're not making a deep playoff run every year. I didn't have it like literally. I think just since I seen the game of football, have I seen a team, an NFL team, where like I saw the offense put up so many points, but the defense was so trash. It was like, dang, they could put up 45 points, but the defense gonna let up 56.
Look,
it looked like you're playing Madden. It looked like you're watching a Madden game all the time. Literally, it was Madden every year. Madden. Oh, we put up 48, guys. We put up 48. What did the defense do? They put up 56. They put up 63. We gave up 450 yards passing and 200 yards rushing. All right, they put up Madden numbers on our asses. All right, you can't blame Drew Brees when your defense get up those type of numbers. You tell me I got to put up at least 63 points a game for us to win? Are you serious? Are we serious?
You sound stressed and upset.
Hey man, I just wish we could have got a lot more out of Drew Brees' career. Could have got us. I feel like we could have had at least. He could have had at least 3 Super Bowls if we gave him a defense during the prime, during his prime. We got him a defense too late. He was on the back half. We got him a defense on the back half of his career when he didn't have the arm he used to have. And we seen, like, you literally seen it, right? When we got an arm, our offense could do anything, right? And, shout out to Sean Payton. I'm gonna miss him this year, but
you gonna message him? That's what you said?
Huh?
You said you gonna send him a message?
I says no. I didn't say I'm gonna send him a message. I said I'm gonna miss Sean Payton this year because like we saw what we could do when we had a quarterback with an arm. Like, we love Drew, but like he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in this league to this day. He didn't have the arm. Like, this man at the point in his career, he wasn't able to throw 65-yard bombs and shit like that. He wasn't doing that shit.